So I do not look super presentable, and obviously I've been crying, but I wanted to share this like as soon as it happened, as soon as possible. So it's Sunday, Easter Sunday. Happy Resurrection, everybody. But I was in my room just hanging up clothes and cleaning up and stuff, and I started rolling my hair, don't judge. And I turned on worship music, and I was like, I'm gonna start praying. I just want to pray. I just feel like I need to pray. I felt like I need to pray. I was like, I need some conversation with the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna pray. And so I just started praying, and then praying and started praying in tongues, and just it came on. God put in my heart is like, you need to pray to release your family from some things. So He started calling out spirits to me, and as I was hearing that, I was praying about my family and those things being removed, and about spirits being moved in my house, and the atmosphere being set in my house, and God's presence, and just praying for His presence, and God, just anything that is in this house that isn't of you, just remove it, just set the atmosphere and fill this house with your presence. And just praying that, and then I was praying in tongues, and I heard Jezebel spirit, which is a spirit that you hear about a lot. Jezebel spirit is a spirit that you hear about a lot, and you hear it described in two different ways, because there's actually two different people. But you hear it talked about as far as lasciviousness, and then you hear it talked about as far as manipulation and control. And so I heard Jezebel's spirit, and just certain things started being revealed to me really, really fast about Jezebel's spirit being active in my life. And I just started praying for God to remove that spirit from me, remove the Jezebel spirit from me, remove it from my family. God just started revealing to me like different things I had done that were actually led by that spirit, and different things that I was seeing in my children that I had been really struggling and feeling frustrated with, that were because I had allowed that spirit to operate in my life and through me, that now it was operating through my children. And I just started crying and crying and crying, and just praying for God to remove it, and praying for God to remove it, and praying for God to remove it. But here is the thing, you guys, and this is what I really want to talk to you about, because this is and God did remove it, okay? God did remove it. But what I had to say is I release it and all the power that it gives. Just because a spirit is bad doesn't mean it doesn't feel good. And I know people are like, yeah, I know that there's lust and all that other stuff. Okay, great. Here's the thing about the spirit of Jezebel. When you're operating in it, or when you're letting it operate in your life, you feel powerful. You do. You feel powerful because it is a spirit that is a master manipulator. And it is a spirit that is so skilled in controlling and controlling malice. And it's also a spirit that we're seeing in the world a lot right now in our culture. And for me, I thought I was so set apart, and I thought I was so different, which I am different. I'm not going to take that away from myself. But because of who I actually am, the base of who I am, who God created me to be. But even having a good base and being created with a good heart and things, if you at all in any area of your life to feel less powerless, allow that spirit to operate, then that spirit can operate in any part of your life. And that spirit becomes a part of your life and a part of even your household. And that's what had happened with me. And I had to release it and all the power that I got from it. And that's when I felt the calling, right? And it being released. So I just want to say to someone, to whoever it is that God is having me record this video for, that He's like, do it now. I don't know who you are. I really don't. But if God tells me to do something now, I know that it's for a reason, it's for a purpose, and it's for the love of His children. So that means that there's one of His children that it can't figure out why things are kind of running amok and don't seem pure and good in their life right now. And it's that spirit. And it's that Jezebel spirit. And it may have been in the purest moment that you invited it in. For example, like someone hurt your feelings. Let's say someone hurt your feelings. And then you decided that you were going to do certain things in regards to them to keep them from hurting your feelings. Not say that I'm going to create a distance, not saying I'm going to create a boundary, but doing certain things to them, talking to them a certain way, things like that, playing at being a certain type of way and stuff like that, to keep them from hurting your feelings, or to make them feel how they make you feel, like that energy return stuff. Even the manipulation, and the controlling, being controlling and manipulative. That's the Jezebel spirit. And manipulation doesn't always look like a big bad thing. There's some manipulation of showing up for somebody all the time. Like, I'm always there for them. I do stuff for them because I want them to need me. I want them to lean on me. That's manipulative. That's manipulative. You're not doing for them because you genuinely love and care about them and you want to see them have the things that they need. You're doing it because you want them to need you. You want to be needed by them. You want to have a higher position in their life than other people do. You don't want other people to fill their position and fill your position in their life. So you do certain things. That's manipulative, and that is the Jezebel spirit operating in your life. And you'll have moments where you feel like, I'm just a good person, and it makes you feel powerful. But that Jezebel spirit will get frustrated when it doesn't get what it wants, and that's where you start to see it. That's where you start to see it. Because I did something for someone, and they didn't react how I wanted them to react, or they still didn't do what I wanted them to do. But I did the perfect manipulation. I showed up for them with everything. I did everything. But what spirit did you do it with? You did it with the Jezebel spirit of manipulation to try to make them need you, make them want you, make them give you a position in their life. Jezebel spirit, okay? And I'm telling you this as someone who just realized I do that. I've done that. I've done that. I'm not saying I've done it in every situation, but I've done that. I have done that. And the frustration that comes with it is that spirit getting frustrated. Okay? Because it's supposed to yield certain results for it. And if it doesn't work, And I'm telling you, you have to, and then I'm telling you, if you want to see a change in your life, if you want to see a change in your peace, for women, if you want to see a change in your hormone balance, if you want to see a change in your ability to sleep and to rest because the Jezebel spirit will cause you to be restless because it needs to be controlling. And how is it going to control things if it's not able to monitor everything? So it will make you restless because it needs to control. It needs to control and manipulate. And how can I control and manipulate when it's not interacting to be able to monitor because you're asleep. So it'll make you restless. So you'll even see a change in that. The Jezebel spirit is no joke. And people have kind of downplayed it because I guess it's so often spoke about and people think of it as in such small terms. and they don't really realize how many aspects of your life it can creep into, and how easily it can creep in, and how many ways it manifests itself. But it's no joke. And the thing about it is, you cannot just go sit in your prayer closet or sit in your car, wherever you'd like to pray, and say, I release the Jezebel, and say, God, remove the Jezebel spirit from me. You have to say, I release it in all the power it has given me. Because it gives you a feeling and a sense of power that isn't real. Because ultimately, God's will is going to prevail. So even with you doing that controlling, manipulative spirit type of stuff via the Jezebel spirit, even with you doing that, the will of God is still what's going to be the end result. So I'm saying to you, if you see yourself doing these things, that's a spirit, okay? Manipulation and controlling and all that stuff. Even manipulation with good things. Even manipulation with helping and things like that. Jezebel spirit. Manipulation, okay? And if you are at the point that you are ready to let go, because don't lie to yourself. If you're not ready to let go of the power you feel from it, the control you feel from it, if you're not ready to say, God, I completely relinquish myself to your will, even if it doesn't feel the way I want it to feel, even if it's not giving me the thing that I want to have. Because there may be a job that you have been working towards, okay? And or a job that you really, really want. And you've been Jezebeling it, manipulating people, and doing extra things that you're not doing out of a heart of kindness and genuine. There's nothing genuine in it. You want the power and you want the position. Jezebel spirit. And you have to say to God, I relinquish my will to your will, knowing that you are going to be sad if you lose that job. And you may lose the job you're at, period, because there's something else that God has for you and there's somewhere else he wants you to be. But having to relinquish that and say, God, I give that up. I give up my will for your will, even if it makes me cry, even if it hurts in my heart right now, even if I feel sad, even if I feel bad, even if, God, I trust you with my heart and my emotions that you can heal me and that you can give me peace. And I relinquish my will, even knowing that I may feel sad or angry at the result. Initially, I believe that you can bring my heart around to a place of peace, and I give up my will for your will. And you may have to speak that thing, God, if it's your will that I don't get that job, I accept your will. You might have to actually say that. But that's the first step. And then you have to ask him to remove the Jezebel. You have to say that you release the Jezebel spirit and all the power it's given you. And then you have to say, God, remove it from me. And regain your peace. Be able to rest. Be able to have balanced hormones, ladies. Because yes, your spirituality does affect that. Where you are spiritually affects that. That's your mental. And it's going to affect that. Be able to have real complete joy. Have real connection to the Holy Spirit. All those things. But those are the steps. I just wanted to share that. Be free. Be love. Be light.